9 in the morning, and here are the main news stories from the TSN team right now, and a request for you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like, and hit the bell so you don't miss our broadcasts. A woman has died and 8 more people were injured in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The Russians attacked the Mykolaiv community in the Sinelnikovo district with a missile and drones. Among the wounded are 2 children, a 5-year-old girl and 2 adults. They were hospitalized in serious condition. The day before, in the Dnipropetrovsk region, 1 person was killed and 3 others were injured. A Russian drone struck a car in the Kryvyi district, killing the driver. The occupiers shelled the Nikopol district with artillery and attacked with strike drones. A woman and 2 men were injured. An apartment building, a college, shops, and a private house were damaged. In Kherson, 3 people were hospitalized as a result of Russian shelling. The Russians shelled the city with artillery. 2 women from Bilazerka also sought medical help. They were attacked by an enemy drone. 5 strikes were recorded in the center of Berislav. There, residential buildings and infrastructure have been damaged. The enemy has thrown all its forces at Pokrovsk. However, their advance has slowed due to the resistance of the defense forces. Currently, assault groups, special operations forces, and the main intelligence directorate are trying to clear the residential neighborhoods where the Russians have infiltrated. All of this is to clear the way for our infantry, which is still holding the southern outskirts. They are also destroying enemy pilots' launch points. At the end of the week, Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrskyi stated that reinforcements for our forces are arriving in the city. Footage has appeared on social media showing the landing of the Guru airborne troops from a helicopter that touched down right in Pokrovsk. It has already become a battlefield. At the same time, the General Staff refuted Putin's claims about an alleged blockade of Pokrovsk and the neighboring city of Mirnohrad. There was an explosion at the Sterlitamak petrochemical plant in Russia. This is in Bashkiria. The enterprise produces synthetic rubbers, isoprene, and other components used for military purposes. Local public pages report that as a result of the explosion, the water treatment workshop collapsed. The cause of the explosion is currently being reported as an accident. Last night, good drones attacked several regions of Russia. Explosions were heard in Lipetsk and in the city of Rilsk in the Kursk region. After the attack, the power went out. More missiles for strikes deep inside Russia. The United Kingdom has supplied Ukraine with a new batch of Storm Shadow missiles. This was reported by Bloomberg, citing informed sources. The exact number of long-range weapons being delivered to Kyiv is being kept secret. It is only known that the UK government made the decision recently. Let me remind you, Storm Shadow are high-precision air-launched missiles with a range of over 250 kilometers to bring Trump, Putin, and Zelenskyy together for negotiations as early as the end of this month. This proposal was put forward by the President of Finland. Oleksandr Stubb believes that the G20 summit in Africa could serve as a convenient platform for such negotiations. It will take place in Johannesburg at the end of November. The President of Finland believes that the President of Ukraine should be invited to the negotiations between Trump and Putin, who are visiting the West. Let me remind you, the meeting between Trump and Putin, which was planned to be held in Budapest, never took place. In particular, because Russia is not showing readiness for negotiations and is putting forward unrealistic demands to end the war. And today, Madrid will host the summit of the Resolute Coalition. According to the Spanish publication El Mundo, the negotiations will be secret and closed, despite the fact that representatives from 35 countries will take part in them. Participants are asked not to disclose details of the summit and have been warned about a ban on mobile phones, which will be collected and stored in a specially designated area. At the summit, they plan to discuss how to increase support for our country, as well as coordinate pressure on Russia. The participants of the meeting will also try to develop a common approach regarding security guarantees for Ukraine. This is a TSN broadcast. The most important news as of 9 a.m. You are watching TSN News. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave your comments on this broadcast and I'll continue. In Germany, there is criticism about the increasing number of Ukrainian men in the country. Most of them are young people under the age of 22. Young people started coming to Germany when the border was opened for them. In May of this year, 8,000 new arrivals were registered in Germany. By September, their number had increased to 19,000. Members of Chancellor Friedrich Merz's party say that men are coming to Germany for social benefits and would prefer that they work instead. This is not the first time in Germany that there have been calls to cancel social assistance for Ukrainians and leave only payments for refugees. This is about €100 less than it is now. The coalition government has agreed to apply this rule to all Ukrainians who arrive after April 1st, 2025. But for now, the payments will not be reduced.
I don't want to kick anyone out, but if young people come to Germany, they shouldn't be allowed to take advantage of the solidarity system. Their goal should be to get a job. We support Ukrainians because this is a very important issue, about peace, about freedom. And the fact that so many young people are coming to us, I find unacceptable because there is a war in Ukraine and those people are needed there as well.
Aid to Ukraine is in question. The winner of the parliamentary elections in the Czech Republic, populist Andrej Babiš, has managed to sign a coalition agreement. His party has joined forces with Eurosceptics who oppose the EU and NATO, as well as the Motorists' Party, which is against Europe's environmental initiatives. In total, the Novochaiska coalition receives 108 out of 200 seats in the lower house of parliament. If Babish's party heads the government, the policy of aid to Ukraine will also change. The current government has supported our country, but Babiš promises to end the ammunition supply program to Kyiv, which was led by the Czech Republic and funded by its allies. The politician also wants to stop any aid to Ukraine from the Czech budget. 2 months in custody, but he can post a bail of 1 million hryvnias and await trial at liberty. Such a preventive measure was chosen for a judge of the Pidaitsi district court in Ternopil region. She is suspected of causing a fatal traffic accident in a village in Carpathian. Preliminarily, the woman driving a Lexus did not slow down at the crosswalk and hit 2 people who were crossing at the pedestrian crossing. One of the men died at the scene, the other was injured. Whether the judge was under the influence of alcohol will be determined by an expert examination. The suspect faces up to 8 years in prison. A spectacular collapse in the center of the Italian capital. In Rome, not far from the famous Colosseum, an ancient tower collapsed. The building was under renovation when the first collapse occurred. 3 workers were injured, one of them seriously. The second collapse, which was caught on camera, happened later when rescuers were already at the scene. This tower was built at the beginning of the 13th century for the family of Pope Innocent III. After years of neglect and destruction, it was finally set to be repaired. Now, emergency crews have to assess whether the structure has retained its stability. Starting today, meteorologists are forecasting colder weather. In the west and north of Ukraine, rain is expected due to a cold atmospheric front. There will also be light rain in Vinnytsia, Cherkasy, and Poltava regions. The air temperature will drop to between 9 and 13 degrees Celsius. The sky over Kyiv will also be covered with clouds. Rain is expected in the capital with a high of 10 degrees. Closer to the weekend, it will clear up and stabilize. Dry weather without temperature fluctuations, but next week a noticeable cold snap is expected with nighttime temperatures dropping below 0. A rainbow around the moon. Kyiv residents are sharing photos on social media of the moon surrounded by a halo of light dispersion. This atmospheric phenomenon is called a corona and occurs when thin clouds pass in front of the moon. The rays of light that it reflects, the lunar surface, create a rainbow effect when they pass through tiny droplets. These aren't all the lunar surprises. November. In just a day, you'll be able to see a supermoon in the sky. The Earth satellite will come as close as possible to our planet, and as it rises above the horizon, it will appear especially large. With that, I wrap up this episode. But there's still a lot of interesting things ahead, and to make sure you don't miss anything, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell. Have a great day, everyone.